Everything seemed normal, until it wasn't. George Clooney had been quietly working on several film and humanitarian projects, balancing the pressures of Hollywood with his well-known commitment to global justice. Friends close to the Clooneys say he had recently complained of persistent fatigue and chest discomfort. However, no one imagined it was anything serious. But within hours, the world was flipped upside down when George was rushed to the hospital following a sudden and frightening medical collapse at the couple's Lake Como estate. Doctors acted swiftly, placing the 63-year-old actor into the ICU, where his condition was described as unstable but under intensive observation. What followed was a wave of silence, no updates, no public appearances, no press releases. Just a sense of quiet dread growing across social media as fans begged for answers. It wasn't until Amal Clooney, George's wife of nearly a decade, stepped forward that the emotional weight of the situation truly came into view. Amal is not known for public displays of emotion. She's a human rights attorney, a voice of strength, resilience, and intellect. But this time, the poised and polished Amal allowed herself to break in front of the world. And that vulnerability became the center of a global emotional reckoning. In a statement that has since gone viral and has been translated into over 40 languages, Amal wrote, "The love of my life is fighting the most difficult battle of his life. I have never felt more powerless. I have never been more scared. I don't want to imagine life without him." These simple, yet soul-crushing words stopped the world in its tracks. Suddenly, the man behind the big screen was no longer just a celebrity, he was a husband, a father, and a fighter in the most personal war of all. George and Amal Clooney's love story has captivated the world since their first public appearance. But what has always set them apart from the glitzy world of red carpets is the quiet strength of their bond. They aren't just partners in love, but in purpose, working hand in hand on humanitarian efforts, raising twins together, and supporting each other through both public triumphs and private pain. Amal's statement continued, "George has always stood for others. He has fought for truth, for justice, for voices that couldn't be heard. Now, it's our turn to fight for him." These words resonated deeply with millions of fans, friends, and strangers who have admired George not just for his career, but for his soul. As soon as Amal's message was released, the world responded. Social media platforms were instantly flooded with messages of support, with the hashtags #PrayForGeorge and #ClooneyStrong trending within hours. Celebrities, political leaders, fans, and everyday people from all corners of the globe began sending well wishes, prayers, and deeply personal reflections on how George Clooney had touched their lives, from his roles in films like The Descendants and Ocean's 11 to his tireless efforts in Darfur and with refugees. Julia Roberts, George's longtime friend and co-star, wrote on Instagram, "George is more than a colleague. He is family. My heart is with Amal, the kids, and everyone praying around the world. We need him to pull through." Matt Damon reportedly flew into Italy quietly to be near his friend, and sources close to the hospital say George's room has become a place of overwhelming love, with Amal at his side every moment she's allowed. Though medical staff have kept details limited, it is known that George remains in intensive care, undergoing critical treatment. Amal has reportedly refused to leave his side, sitting beside him, holding his hand, whispering words of love and encouragement. Nurses have described her as exhausted but unwavering, often seen reading letters from their children, or simply sitting in quiet prayer. One hospital staff member described a particularly emotional moment where Amal was seen placing a small framed photo of the family by George's bedside, an image of George smiling with his arms around their twins, Ella and Alexander. "It was a small thing," the staff member shared, "but it said everything." Doctors remain cautiously hopeful, noting small but meaningful signs of improvement. Amal, in a follow-up message shared privately with close friends and later leaked to media, said, "He's fighting. I see it in his breathing, in the way he responds when I speak. I believe in his strength more than ever. And I believe in the power of prayer." The message has continued to inspire millions, becoming a rallying cry for hope. The Clooneys' family spokesperson has asked for continued privacy while also expressing gratitude for the overwhelming support from fans around the world. "Your love is sustaining the family right now," the statement reads. "Please keep George in your hearts." The final line of Amal's statement has already become etched in millions of hearts. "I married a man who gave the world his voice. Now, I ask the world to raise theirs for him." These words, graceful, strong, and broken all at once, summarize the deep pain and enduring love that defines the Clooneys bond. If this story moved you, please subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on George Clooney's condition and the inspiring strength of Amal Clooney. Share this video, leave your love and prayers in the comments, and help spread a message of hope and unity in a world that desperately needs it.